All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Going to go through this rather quickly, but because we got the 4 things to cover, and I'll break each one down in later videos as we get into it. But before we get into it, hit the subscribe button, support the channel, leave your comments below as to what you think each thing is going to turn out. The soybeans and rye, I explained that field several videos ago as to what's going on there. So now all we have to do is wait. Excuse me. We just have to wait. Are the soybeans and rye going to grow together? And did the rye control the weeds in the soybeans? Just a matter of time. I'll let you know this fall. We'll keep you updated through the summer. The population study, 55, 75, 95, 115. Who's going to cash flow the best? I predict 75 will be the sweet spot for cash flow. I believe 75, 95, and 115 will be extremely tight race. The statistical tie. On show plots like that, a couple bushels is a statistical tie. 55, I think, is going to be surprise. I think we're going to be very surprised how well 55,000 does. I'm rooting for that guy. I'm really rooting for that guy. It'd be super fun. How fun would it be if you only had to plant 70,000 beans to make your cash flow for your farm? Half the soybeans purchased, half the soybeans handled, half the amount of time refilling the planter, half of the seed treatment cost per acre. There has to be half the interest paid during the year if you're borrowing money on that seed. All them little things add up, guys. All that stuff adds up, and the biggest thing that adds up is your stress. So that's how we can make farming great again, is to hope this stuff succeeds. So leave your comment as to how you think the populations will go. We used to always be at 170. This is our second year of doing 115 across the farm. I would love to see 70 by my future. So since I'm not sustainable enough and all I do is talk about buzzwords, I bought public variety soybeans. So we will be doing our own bin run soybean seed for next year. You other older guys will remember what that's like. Not so terrible. At the cost of beans today, not so terrible. So we'll be doing the bin run soybeans, and next year we will cash flow them against some purchased seed stock to see how it really cash flows out. But to me, I'm a big believer that even if something claims to pay for itself, you still have to make that payment. And sometimes that payment's kind of hard. I would rather miss a few $100s in soybean sales in the spring than have to write a $10,000 check out for soybean seed in the fall. Even if the seed claims that the yield difference paid for itself, you still got to write that check out. And that's kind of painful. I'd rather not write that check out. So then we'll also have the non-GMO side. And with the non-GMO side, I know this bothers people. It's kind of crazy how farmers could think that non-GMO is barbaric, non-stewardship farming. But that just shows the ignorance out there of young farmers. We used to be all non-GMO up until not too many decades ago. So we'll compare the non-GMO next year as well as to how we captured markets and investments and input costs. So we are doing the exact same soybean program as we would if we were doing conventional beans, except on the non-GMO side, we're selling to the exact same elevator. I do the same pre-emerge chemical program, do the same mid-season chemical program. Next year we'll be going in pretty much organic beans with the rye if it works out. But this year we're doing our normal program, 2-pass program, just like we would with conventional beans. The only thing is we get rid of Roundup. If you start reading about some of how Roundup affects plants and the tie-up of nutrients and delayed growth, that's not the worst thing in the world is to get rid of Roundup. But yeah, so we're doing the exact same thing. We get $1 on the beans, or pert near $1 on the beans, selling to the same elevator. So we'll have all that stuff cash flowed for next year compared to a conventional bean program that takes the $1 away. And so we got all 4 of them things going on. And like I said, leave your comments below. I got a little clip of planting green and planting the soybean test plot, so I'll put them on the back side. And so guys, thank you very much for watching. Tomorrow, manure management. So I finished up the rye thing last evening. Went hit a couple little fields. Now this morning, starting on the test plot for soybean population. So my first couple rounds are at 110, then 90, and now these rounds are at 75. Well, it's 115, 95, 75. And the next round will be 55,000. Just to see how low can we go to get a fail at 55,000. Will we get a failure? Yeah, all in the name of science. But we got rain coming tonight, supposedly an inch tonight, Friday night. All right, so here's the start of the soybean and rye relay cropping section, and then no relay cropping right there for our check. Same on the far side, there's a check. And my first time planting green on purpose. We've had years that we've planted green, but it was because of weeds, and it was just a horrible spring. But yeah, so I guess it's, I don't know. It's out of my hands now, how about that? So yeah, again, this is a 0.4 maturity bean, Peterson seed. They do not sponsor me. I just give them a shout out because they're a good company. We'll be doing a shout out for them and a couple other companies specifically. But yeah, this is nice ground to drive on. The condition of this soil. Oh boy, I'm excited.